Care providers, are you wasting thousands on marketing that doesn't work?
Every day, care providers pour money into things like SEO and PPC, but without the right strategy, it's like playing golf blindfolded. Let's try that. I have absolutely no idea. It's pretty good though.
We're here today to answer the big question on a round of golf, SEO or PPC.
We're going to look at which one you should be using and ultimately which is best for care providers. So whether you're running a care home or home care business, we'll show you how to make the right marketing decisions, avoid wasted spend, and ultimately get more private pay inquiries.
Okay, so after hole one in SEO versus PPC, it's 1-0 SEO.
In golf terminology, you're actually one up.
Oh yeah,
SEO or PPC, which gets care homes more inquiries?
Well, first up, they're both highly effective channels, and we would always recommend a blended approach. But today, obviously, as we're on the golf course, it's going to be a bit SEO versus PPC. So I'm always reminded of Alex Hormozy when he said something along the lines of like SEO is like an investment account. If you put the effort in, it will compound over time. Whereas PPC is like a day job. You've got to turn up to get your money, essentially. It helps you build the brand. It's the longer term play and the benefits, I think. You'll feel the benefits for much longer, even if you stop. So for me, that's the most effective. PPC as well, it's a bit like a tap. You turn it on, obviously it's immediate, but you've got to optimize it. But as soon as you turn that off, it stops. So you don't feel the benefits for as long as SEO.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think obviously some of it does also depend on what the goals are for the home. If there's an immediate occupancy problem, PPC is going to be the thing that goes, I guess, longer to solve that, right? Like if you want a quick win, turn that on, optimize it. But I do agree that you're not getting the other benefits of brand building and things like that.
Agreed. How many times as an SEO am I allowed to say it depends in today's?
0. Atmospheric.
That's about the best I've ever hit on this hole. Why do so many care providers waste money on SEO and PPC?
I think it's a good question. I think there's probably a 3-part answer. For me, I think the big one that we see quite often is that like care homes and home care businesses are investing, but I'd say they're spending rather than investing. So they're working with providers with very low budgets. In some cases, we speak to people, they say they're spending £500, £700 a month on maybe SEO and PPC combined. And what we see is that just doesn't deliver a return on the investment. So whilst it may seem cheaper than, providers such as Care Launch, ultimately you're not seeing any return on that investment. So it is a pure cost base. Whereas leveling up and investing heavier typically leads to better results, which actually produce an ROI rather than just being a cost base. For something like SEO, a common thing that we see across care homes and home care businesses is having multiple websites for either each of the homes, or in home care businesses often for each of the franchises. So you may say have like River Care Home as one website and I don't know, whatever home it maybe is another. Whereas really what you need to do is bring them all into one so that you are all singing off the same hymn sheet and you're all getting the equity benefits that brings. And from a PPC perspective, and I think I'll talk about this a few times today, is set it and forget it is a real thing. People set up the campaign once and then never check back in on it and just let it tick along. And ultimately, when it comes to PPC, it is an ongoing optimization game as well.
Yeah. And for those out there wondering, like, how much should you kind of budget each month for marketing, roughly?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, typically people give the answer of 5 to 10% of annual business turnover. I think really it needs to put a number on that, which is regardless of size, and we experienced this ourselves when we were a smaller company, is that we had to spend beyond our means really to produce that ROI. So typically I'd say for a really solid provider of SEO or PPC, you want to be budgeting a minimum of £2,500 per month. So we're 2 holes in, and Brendan's already had a meltdown in the bunker, so we're back to 1-1.
Record that.
It's total head loss already.
Which takes longer to work, SEO or PPC?
I think there's a common misconception, especially around PPC, that it is a switch on and you instantly see a result like that. Typically, even with PPC now, we're in a world of AI where those campaigns go through what's called an AI learning phase, which can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. So I think realistically, PPC, we're probably going to start seeing good quality leads come through within the first month, probably towards the back end of that month, where you explained it previously with SEO, it is more like a investment account. And with any good investment, it takes time to come off. We always say to our care homes and home care providers that we'll start to see small indicators of success, which we call lead measures, within the first 3 months normally. But we're not going to be up to full speed for the first 6 to 9. And, we're really normally 12 to 18 months before we're firing on all cylinders from a SEO perspective. Unfortunately for Brendan and SEO, the head loss continues and PPC is now 1 up.
I don't need to do any mind games. We'll take this into the trees on the right. Willing to bet money on it.
Oh, what's that? Is that down the middle?
Well, it's drifting, right.
So I'd say that's down the middle. I think we'll find that on the fairway.
Oh, Harry, look at that. That is straight. That is straight.
That's extremely disappointing.
Was that really good?
Just annoying when he hits a good shot.
On SEO.
We prefer to see the demise.
Come on, SEO.
What is the biggest SEO mistake that care providers make?
I think it's the fact that care providers don't necessarily think or cater for care-seeking families. They don't necessarily understand the emotional strain that they're under during this journey. And it's, take for instance, a luxury care group brand. You will see some fantastic imagery, videos, but it's just of facilities. There's no people in shot, and people buy from people. We need that emotional connection. That's how humans make decisions at the end of the day, with emotions. So getting people front and centre in imagery, in videos. I think making sure that your care home manager becomes a celebrity, if you will, so people can see who's actually providing care. And I think gone are the days now that stock imagery on a website is the done thing. You'll go on 6 or 7 different care home groups, you'll see the same person in the stock imagery, and that's a tell sign that you're being complacent.
All right, let's see here further. That's a PPC 2 up. 3 pars in a row as well, if you mentioned that.
It's 3 up.
2 up.
Why?
Just went all square. 1 up on that one, 2 up on this one.
Okay. Unfortunately, PPC are 2 up now. Yeah, I was close, but Harry just fluked a putt.
Can you actually put that in, please?
Oh, okay.
I'll make sure I see it happen.
There's a possibility.
That's not going in the edit. Sorry for getting the putt I've just had on the last hole. What's the biggest mistake you've seen with PPC?
So I think in many ways it's similar to the SEO question, which is not fully considering the care seeker's customer journey. Now, naturally with PPC, we don't want to be spending money, at least in the short term, at the top end of the care seeker's customer journey at the awareness stage. We want to be much closer to the decision stage. But in doing so, what often happens is we'll just go after those keywords that are very obvious, right? Like care homes near me or something like that. And then we'll set that campaign to go and we won't check back in on it. So what we really need to do is continually optimize the campaigns and not do what is really common, which is set it and forget it. We should be looking at those campaigns every day, looking at the keywords, looking at the search terms, looking at how much we're spending and what we're getting in return. It has to be a everyday operation. Oh no.
It went about 50 yards, but we're not all big hitters. And this is what Harry should have done. Oh no. So after an errant tee shot, Harry's decided to concede the hole because his ball's landed in a wasp's nest. Probably the wise choice. It's now 1 up PPC.
It's good. Oh, sorry? You edging on the side of SEO?
SEO, man.
Wow. Oh, fuck.
Oh, he's gone left. He's gone. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have to make this answer fairly short, considering we're on opposite sides of the fairway.
Yeah.
But if I was a care provider, care home or home care business, and only had £1,000 to spend on marketing, where would you be placing your money?
Couple of quick points here. Obviously, it depends on your objectives and goals. And being blunt, £1,000 is not enough for any serious kind of engagement. However, an example of something you could do with £1,000 employing a care marketing partner like Care Launch, we would potentially focus on local SEO optimization. That's Google My Business Profile optimization, building directory links and links back into your website, and optimizing on site for your money keywords, which are the local keywords, i.e. dementia care Mansfield. So yeah, we just answered, and now Harry's going to have to walk over to another hole to get his ball back to play this hole that we're on.
Yeah, I think I'm on the green of the next hole.
I'm probably going to overhit this. I can feel it. I've got the yips. Got the yips. He hasn't hit it. Hasn't hit it. Look at the break.
That's not bad. It's not bad though. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's to go 2 out for 2 to play. We're 3 to play.
Too hard. Too hard.
So there we go. As you just witnessed, Brendan missed that one, so PPC goes 2 up, we're 3 to play.
I hate this stupid game. So what's the hidden cost that care providers don't expect when it comes to SEO or PPC?
Well, first of all, it's par 3 next. I got my eyes on a hole in one. But in terms of hidden costs, I think if we look at PPC, the thing that often gets overlooked, I'd say, is the fact that if you're using a marketing provider like Care Launch, there are 2 fees involved. So you have the provider's fee, which would be our fee, and then you also have a separate fee to the ad platform, whether that be Meta, Google, Microsoft, whatever it may be. So you may budget, say, £2,500 to the care provider. Then you'd also need an additional, say, £5,000 to the ad platform, whether that be Meta, Google, etc., etc. So I think that often gets overlooked. From an SEO perspective, I think it's very easy, especially now in an AI world, to think that everything can be done in-house by yourself. It's a trap that we've even fallen into at Care Launch. But the hidden cost is just the implementation time. These things, to do really well, do take time, and I'd say that time when care leaders could be spending their time probably better elsewhere is definitely a hidden cost.
You mentioned AI. Why can't care providers just use AI to do everything?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and I think, in honesty, it is maybe a direction that will go within the next probably 10 to 15 years. But I think what gets overlooked there is AI is only ever as good as the data that you can give it, the prompts that you can give it, the instructions that you can give it. And really, that does still require an expert. We would be lying to say that Care Launch hasn't embraced AI over the last 2 years. But the only way that we have found we get really good results is still having our SEO team, our PPC team, even our videography team with George behind the camera today. We need those experts using those tools to get the most from them at the moment. So, like I said, it may be somewhere we go over the next 10, 15 years, but right now we need those specialists, those experts to lead the strategy to aid the AI tools in what they can do. Oh no.
Oh, he's way left. He's pulled it onto the other hole. Yeah! All right. Do you want SEO to show you how it's done? Yes! Come on, SEO. What's the score?
You brought one back, so it's PPC is 1 up.
PPC 1 up. Okay. 2 holes to play. Yeah, that's a good shot.
What's a big myth from either SEO or PPC that care providers still believe?
I think it's the fact they think they don't actually need to do much marketing, much digital marketing, because word of mouth is so strong. They're full leads. But that's not future-proofing. I would always say that the landscape for care-seeking families is changing. Firstly, younger and younger family members are getting involved in the care-seeking journey, and they're not talking to people, so word of mouth isn't a thing for them. They're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, YouTube, looking at stuff, and they want to see the people behind the care homes as well. I think also, you know, other channels for people that are looking for care. More and more people are getting more savvy with technology, so they're searching more often. And a stat that we heard from Debbie Harris from Autumna, 95% of care seekers start their search online.
Speaking of myths that we come across quite often as well, is the belief that the care sector is already marketing itself really well. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's a strange one, because care marketers might post something on Facebook or put a blog on everyday life within the care home on their website. I think that's marketing. It's great, yeah, and it's absolutely needed. However, what about the care-seeking family whilst they're going through their care journey? They need to have answers to their pain points and their questions that they have during what is a stressful time. So you need to consider that and make sure that you're covering touch points across the care seeker's customer journey.
Yeah, I think quite often we forget that there is a huge amount of trust that these families put in the home or the care home provider, and we need to really own the narrative of telling the stories behind the people within these homes and within these home care businesses as well. Oh,
yes.
It's nice.
Yes.
It's real nice.
I needed that.
Oh, what's he doing?
The pressure to win.
Yeah,
Had to win this.
yeah. Oh, one hole to play. PPC is one up. You got one final hole.
Yeah,
you need to win
pressure.
it to level things up. And speaking of, you know, pressure points, we've got a big final question for you, Brendan, which is, which one wins in 2025? SEO or PPC for care providers?
I would always say, in general, SEO will win, just because of all the benefits that we've spoken about throughout this round. For me, it's the long-term benefits from SEO. It's actually answering the questions and the pain points care-seeking families have along their customer journey. And I think all of that work and the hard work, putting that all in place, will actually benefit your PPC moving forwards. However, if you want to move quickly and start getting some leads in sooner rather than later, you start with PPC, and whilst PPC is rolling, you work on SEO as a dual. So the actual answer is both of them. However, if I was to start with one, SEO. So I just wanted to put this on record as we've come to the final hole. Harry, with a handicap of 14, is one up. Okay. My handicap's 27. I haven't played in 3-4 months.
You can't use that as an excuse. We literally played the last round of golf together, so don't listen to that.
He's definitely been practicing, so don't listen to Harry. I'm playing injured today as well. I feel like I've given a good account of myself, so I just want people to know that. It's no reflection on SEO or PPC. The result doesn't define that SEO is any worse than PPC or vice versa. I'm probably going to win the hole, so it's probably a draw, but I just wanted to put this on record. Oh, he got left!
Oh no. Oh.
Wait.
Well done.
Good game.
Well done.
PPC wins. I think what I'd like to see next time, 2v2.
Okay.
So if there's any care home managers, care leaders out there who want to play around with Brendan and I, we need 2 people. We'll go 2v2. And Brendan said he'll buy the drinks.